Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I wanted to talk on the internet real quick because and here's the thing. I'm not going to say I hate the internet, but I am going to say that there is problems with the internet. More so social media platforms. Social media platforms, Google. I'm trying to think what else could I talk on about the internet. Yeah, I would say that pretty much sums up what I'm gonna be talking about in today's episode. I will mention AI talking on Chat GPT, but at the same time, and it's like I mean, there are their issues with AI. Like at times AI doesn't get all of the information that you're trying to look for, but at the same time I'm like, AI did just come out a few years ago, so yeah, it wasn't like AI has been around like Google and social media and all that stuff, because if I could just talk on that real quick, because this has been a problem for me for some time now. So I'll look up something on Google, right? Like, let's say if I'm trying to figure out an actor in a movie, but like, let's say it was an actor that like they just made a cameo appearance. So I'm like, I'll look it up, be all like, who is this actor in Spider-Man? Like, who is this that actor that made a cameo appearance in Spider-Man? They will list off everybody that has ever played in a Spider-Man movie from the very first movie all the way up until movies they got planned in the future. And I'm thinking to myself, I asked you a simple question. Why did you give me an answer that I'm like, you gotta really sit down and think about it. Like, I guess, like, talking to the people that are behind Google and Google search and all that stuff. Because this is how it is on YouTube. For those that, I think, yeah, most people know that. But I guess maybe if you don't know, Google also owns YouTube. So there's at times where YouTube will recommend me videos, or if I'm searching up a video and I'm trying to just look for some information, like, I would say that with YouTube, it's a little bit more closed off, I guess, like, because it's just linking YouTube other YouTube videos. But yeah, with Google, there's at times where I'll look up stuff and I'm like, what does this website have to do with what I'm looking for? Like, it's like, oh, create a Spider-Man suit, and I'm like, I just wanted to know who was the character in this movie. So, but it'll be from stuff like that to where if I'm having like issues with, like, yeah, let's say if I'm having issues with some form of technology, like if my iPhone is messing up or something, you'll look up the issue that's wrong with it, all these different things that are popping up. And I'm like, this is why people use Chat GPT. This is why people use AI, because at times Google, they'll give you answers where it's like, if I was in a classroom and a teacher, like, so you have the one teacher that just gives you a direct answer, and then you have the other teacher that gives you the Google answer where they just give you a million different answers. And I'm like, fam, I'm just looking for one answer. That's it. That's all that you need to provide me. When you start providing me a bunch of different things, and half of it, if not the majority of it, it has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's why I'm like, I found myself, it's funny because like I didn't really care too much for Chat GPT, but eventually it did get to a point where I was like, if I don't find the answers on Google, I go over to Chat GPT. And there's been times where Chat GPT has given me just direct. And the funny thing is, so Google is now trying to compete with Chat GPT with their own AI software. And I'm like, fam, that AI software sucks. Like, it's funny because I think that's what I had looked up was free VPNs to use on like the Google web store and stuff, right? Now, I hadn't checked Chat GPT. It's too many C words and stuff. I haven't checked Chat GPT. But no, I had Googled it, and then, yeah, it was telling me, like, VPNs that wasn't free. Like, you had to have, like, some sort of subscription service or pay for it, and I'm like, what part of free did you not understand in my in my question? That's what I would like to know. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm like, there be times where you'll Google things, and it's like, what's the problem? Like, what am I not speaking? Like, you let me know the language that I need to speak on Google, and that's the language that I'll speak. Because I'm saying at times, I'm like, I don't feel like Google understands whatever it is that I'm looking for and stuff. So, but anyways, yeah, now let's start talking about social media. So, one social media platform that I feel like that needs to be called out on the stuff that they have going on is TikTok. Now, I've been on TikTok for some time now. I've been using TikTok for about, I think I had created a TikTok account in 2019. So I've been on TikTok for some years. I've been on there for a while. And it didn't seem like it was like this before, but as the time went on, now I would say with TikTok, their search thing, it's a lot worse than Google, because you can search up some of the most simplest stuff on there. You could just search up chair, right? Chair, boat, what else? Air Jordans. You could just search up just any old random things. And I'm thinking to myself, why am I seeing a woman promote her OnlyFans? Like, cause you could just tell by the video, like, that's what she's doing. That's what she's trying to achieve. And I'm thinking to myself, if I looked up Air Jordans, I want to see Air Jordans. I'm not trying to see a woman wearing like, what are them, like them string suits or something, and she's wearing a pair of Air Jordans. I'm like, it's content where I'm like, there's different platforms and places where stuff like that can get uploaded. I thought this was a kid platform. I thought this was a platform where it was like you had to keep things PG. You can't even say there's a side of TikTok that's, like, I guess, like, yeah, it's the explicit. All TikToks I feel like need to be explicit. Like, you might see like some comedy TikToks here and there, but I'm like, man, what is it? What is up with the search thing? Yeah, like I said, it's worse than Google. At least with Google, they'll give you, if you search up, why is my iPhone not turning on? They might give you a billion different answers. But if you searched up that same thing, with on TikTok, yeah, it's just gonna be nothing but explicit content. And I'm like, what's going on with TikTok? And then the thing that trips me out about it is that because I feel like that's a thing that just affects all, like from Google to all social media platforms, the algorithm. You're pushing out that type of content, and that's the thing where it's like, again, there are places where we can see that type of content. There are places where that type of content should be getting uploaded on, but TikTok, I feel like that. Yeah, TikTok, Twitter, it's like it's a lot worse. I'm like, Twitter is one of those places where it's like, don't open that out in public, because there's been times, you just get the scroll a little bit too much, and then you might mess around and see something where it's like, if you do open it up, make sure you have one of them privacy screens, because Twitter is just, it's like a purge thing. It's like, you can't, like I said, open that up in private, because it's like you gotta be quick with whatever it is that you gotta do and stuff. So somebody messages you hurry up and go to the DMs. If you trying to make a tweet, hurry up, post that tweet and exit out. Cause man, Twitter is one of those places where I'm like, I feel like that compared to how it was some years ago. Twitter used to be such a dope platform to go to. Like, you didn't have to worry about algorithms, you didn't have to worry about ads, you didn't have to worry about Elon Musk, you didn't have to worry about like, I guess, like people like block, like, well, yeah, you like the blocking system back then, it was so much better back then than it is now, because it's like there's still people that can access your Twitter account. And I'm thinking to myself, what part of block, like, that's what I would sit down and have like a conversation with Elon Musk. I'm like, do you understand the reason why a person blocks somebody is because they don't want to have no sort of association. They don't want them to view their account. They don't want them to be able to look at their account. None of that. Now, yes, you can open up a person's account in like incognito or something like that. But I'm like, there needs to be like ways, I guess, to avoid that. It's like there needs to be a better security system or just overall better protection for the users, because to me, that's kind of like, so you lock somebody that you don't want inside your house, and instead of, having it where they leave your property, if this was a Twitter country, you can kick them out of your house, but they can still stand outside your window and watch everything that you're doing. Then they might as well be inside my house. So that's why I'm like, man, with Twitter and their whole like system, I'm like, yeah, I don't even like Twitter. Twitter is one platform where I'm like, I wish I hadn't have if I would have known back then what I know now about Twitter, I wish I would have never re-enabled my account. But now that I'm a content creator, and it's like, yeah, I have to have accounts like that. I have to have TikToks and Twitter accounts, and of course YouTube. I have to, of course I have to have a YouTube account. But the thing is this with YouTube, because I know people will probably ask, like, what's my beef with YouTube? I've had a beef with YouTube for a while. I'm like, ever since they had started wrongfully giving me guideline strikes in 2020, yeah, my issue with YouTube, it's been going on for a while, but that's the thing too. I'm like, speaking on that algorithm stuff again, YouTube ain't no different with their like janky algorithm, because you want people to see your content. You want people, if you're a YouTuber, you want people to see your YouTube videos. And at times they don't. And I'm like, okay, I don't know if it's on some stuff where it's not being recommended, like if that's a YouTube thing or what. But I'm like, I know that YouTube, they have like some bot system operating their website. Cause it's like, yeah, you sit down and think about it. You're trying to run a house of however many people there are on YouTube. Like, let's just say there's a billion people on YouTube, right? Do you think that a few or a certain group of people can, manage all of these different people on YouTube? No, they can't. So they got to use this bot system to try to manage it. But I'm like, fam, that bot system is broken. Like, that's one thing that I will say about social media and the internet is that they rely too much on bots right now. Like, I get at the, that whatever it is without the bots, it might be too much work for you. But I'm like, fam, you signed up for this. Like, that's the thing, I guess, with me as a content creator, and I know I can't compare content creating to running a social media platform, but at the same time, I signed up for content creating, so I know it's going to get difficult. I know I'm going to have me some hard days, but at the same time, this is what I signed up for. This is what I want to do. To have it, how would, I guess, like, that would be my question to people. How would you like if all my videos was done by a bot? Or it was done through AI. So instead of me doing reaction videos, gaming videos, making music, all this other, I'm just making all that stuff through AI and posting. People wouldn't watch my videos. Yeah, I think they will probably be curious, but at the same time, it's like, bruh, it's one of those things where I'm like, I know for a fact people would not be watching my videos. So that's why I'm like, it just really trips me out when you see, cause like, and that's how I found out about it was when I was, getting some of the guideline strikes. And then that's when they were saying it was like a bot is, or not, well, I think because how they word it in an email, they were like, oh, a team of people carefully watched their videos. And I'm thinking to myself, the video that you took down, I know it's going to take a lot longer to review that video. I know that you guys put it through a bot and you're relying on this bot to, cause automated system, that's what they call it and stuff. So they was like, yeah, an automated system reviewed your video and figured it went against the guidelines. And I'm thinking to myself, but did you actually watch my video? Because there's at times, and that's why I'm like with YouTube, it's like you're trying to have a say-so in what people find entertaining and not entertaining. Now, people can be watching, because some of the stuff that I seen growing up on YouTube and other websites, I'm like, how is that allowed? Like, I'm not going to name the websites just for, protection reasons and keep people from going on there and keeping them from seeing some stuff, because I know how I can get where it's like if something traumatizes me, I'll be thinking of that stuff for a while, so I wouldn't want that for you guys. But yes, there's been times where I went to websites where I'm like, how is this a website? How is this allowed? Like, how can you show people getting killed and mutilated and all these other different things? Like, where I'm like, this ain't even like a movie. Like, this is real life. Like, I can think back when I was in high school and some of the stuff that I seen, and I'm like, man, YouTube don't like, and that's the thing with them. You guys don't know how good you have it. Like, cause there's times where they took videos down off of my platform, and I guess like with me, I am like the content that they've taken down, I don't look at that as like traumatizing or scary content or something, because like there's the one video where they were trying to say that a kid's life was in danger or something like that, and I'm like, fam, do you know how many people probably every day has choked on some food? And you're going to say that, oh, that's a video that goes against the guidelines. Bruh, everybody at least once in their life done choked on some food or water. But so to explain to you guys the video, so the kid, I think everybody done did that. They done took some food and threw it in their mouth. So he was doing that. I think it was him and his friend, sibling, whoever it was. They were taking some candy and they were throwing it up in the air and trying to catch it with their mouth. So the kid does it. I think it was like it went too far down in his throat, and then he got the coughing and choking and stuff, and I was like, I can't even remember what I'd said or did in the video, but it wasn't like I was encouraging it. It wasn't like I looked at the camera and said, hey, everybody, for my own pure entertainment, choke on some food so I can laugh at you and stuff. If I did laugh, I laughed, but if I didn't, and I'm like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I wasn't like, wishing the kid had died or something. Like, that's what I think of when I'm like, when they're taking down my video and stuff. And like, that was the thing. It was a reaction video. It wasn't like I was standing there recording the kid and stuff. I was reacting to the video. So yeah, when they did that, I was like, are you guys serious? Like, but I mean, like, there's been other times when they ain't taken down videos off of my channel, and I'm like, I don't get it, man. I just don't. I'm like, cause I guess like with me, it's like, if there's content that I want to see, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna look for it, you know. But if trying to like limit people on what content, you're trying to make this into a kid friendly website, this is the internet. There's no such thing as kid friendly. If somebody is on the internet, that's the thing. You might be able to avoid some areas, but that's the thing. There is nothing kid friendly about the internet. Nothing. You can even, the thing is this, right? Because what was that one platform for kids? I think it was like Club Penguin or something like that. Didn't adults like overrun that accountants, or not account, but that like social media? It was like, I think it was some like sort of like social media platform for kids, but adults had started getting themselves involved in that account. And then there was the Thomas the Tank Engine stuff where some years ago they were like full blown adults pretending to be trains from this cartoon show. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, primarily kids be watching this show. So I guess like that would be my question to a parent, is that if you don't want your kid to be exposed to certain things on the internet, wouldn't it make sense to keep them away from the internet? Like, that's the thing where I'm like, man, you know, it just seems like that at times, like social media, like YouTube, but I feel like it's like that everywhere, but it's just not as bad as it is on YouTube. They're really trying to, they pretty much are holding the script in front of your face and like, hey, you got to stick to the script. And I'm like, fam, like, wasn't YouTube all about broadcasting yourself, being yourself and all that? Now it just seems like that. No, you have to be one of the good guys. And it's like, okay, I don't mind that, but at the same time, you have to let me be my own version of my good guy. You know, it's like, I'm obviously not going to be doing content that's going to put people in a situation, but at the same time, it's like, if there's content that clearly doesn't go against your guys' guidelines, but meanwhile, and that's the thing, it's like that on Twitter, it's like that. I ain't seen racism just about everywhere, and especially when you got creators like Chud the Builder, where it's like he pretty much let people know like, hey, it's okay for you to be a racist and stuff. And I mean, even before him dealing with racists, where it's like that stuff is allowed. But me doing a reaction video, or even the one time they were like, no, there was a couple of times, and these were the only 2 times where they had reversed the strike on my channels. But so the first time it was on my podcast channel. For those that don't know, I have a podcast called the TMossBoss Show. So, but no, I have a YouTube channel, just like where it's not, because I know I have my podcast linked to my main channel, but I have a secondary channel where it's just strictly my podcast episodes. I'm a little late on posting the episodes, but anyways. So I had posted this episode where I was talking about how I don't believe in conspiracy theories. Like, people, when they say stuff like, oh, Tupac is living in Cuba, I'm like, I don't believe that. Because I think that the way that this world be liking to solve crimes, like, because I just think of like when like high profile celebrities, when they get killed, and then how people be solving them crimes like within seconds. Like, you're like, dang, man, I wonder who did it. Then it's like, oh, you look it up on the internet, and then people, they already done access security cameras and all these other different things. And I'm like, these are just regular like 9-to-5 workers. I'm like, how is you guys doing faster work than detectives? I'm like, that's crazy. But anyways, but yeah, I was saying how I didn't believe in conspiracy theories like that. And YouTube had took the podcast episode down, talking about I was promoting conspiracy theories. And I'm like, did you guys watch the video, or did one of these automated bots or your team of people watch? Because I'm like, if you watch the video, I didn't say nothing about supporting or promoting conspiracy theories. I promoted how I don't believe in them. I think that that's going with your guys' guidelines. So I was confused by that. But then the other time, and that's why I was like, you know, YouTube, you really gotta do better when it comes down to your guys' website. So for those that, I guess, like, if you don't be paying too much attention to Kanye West, I think now he's, trying to be like normal and stuff, but at some point in time, he was selling shirts with swastikas on them. Yeah, crazy. It was one of those things where I'm like, man, Kanye, I'm like, I hope he don't go back down that route no more. Like, I hope, like, where he's at right now, where he's just being normal and focusing on the music, please, God, let this man stay that way. But anyways, but yeah, I remember when he came out with those shirts, and I was like, that's crazy. I'm like, you know, you out here selling shirts with swastikas on them, and I'm like, how is this allowed? I remember I did a TikTok video talking about it. I can't remember what exactly I said in the video, but I wasn't promoting it. I wasn't supporting it. I simply was just talking about how crazy it was. YouTube took the video down, and I think it was like for racism, and I'm thinking to myself, I have been experiencing racism on your guys' platform for about, a little over 10 years and some months. you don't do nothing to them people, but you'll do something to my channel. And I wasn't even promoting or supporting racism. I wasn't even supporting the t-shirt. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. What did I do wrong? And then, yeah, shortly afterwards, they did both the conspiracy theory episode and that video. They did put them up. I was like, the conspiracy theory episode, I think I still left up, but the video of talking on the shirts with the swastikas on it, I did take that down because I remember when Corey Kenshin, he said the same thing happened to him. They took a video down, brought the video back up, waited until some months, and then took the video back down again, and then was like, oh, we're doubling down on it. We're not gonna put the video back up. So I took the video down. I was like, no, I'm not having that, because I'm trying to have, because like that was the thing too. So when I had posted, because I can't remember when exactly I posted the video, but then shortly afterwards, because I was supposed to be eligible for my 100K plaque on YouTube, and so I remember I had to wait a year because they gave me a strike like moments after hitting 100K and stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, YouTube, you guys really need to do better when it comes to your guys' platform. But anyways, but yeah, then they was like, I waited a year. Then they was like, okay, now you gotta wait some months. And I think they was like, you'll be eligible in August. Okay, cool. I'm like, that's my birthday month. I'll go ahead and wait until August. I'm like, that'll be a good, I guess, birthday present and stuff. So anyways, yeah, then that's when, I can't remember when exactly I posted the video, but then in July, they were trying to take the video down. They did take the video down. And at that point, I was mad because I was all like, nah, bro, you guys are going to wait until a month before I'm eligible on getting my plaque. And then that's when you guys want to take it? No, we ain't doing that. That ain't happening. I'm like, you guys going to have to do some work around something. But I'm like, I ain't going to wait until I have it where I get this close to getting my plaque and then I don't get it. Nah, you guys gonna have to change. You're gonna have to do something. So they did put the video back up, but I took the video down because I'm like, yeah, I ain't risking it. I ain't gonna have it where it be like a day before I receive my plaque. Then that's when they're all like, oh, we're taking the plaque back and we're gonna give you another guideline strike. I'm like, yeah, bro, I ain't having that. So but anyways, yeah, I just think that with social media right now, it's like, that's another thing too. I feel like that because TikTok has that feature, Instagram has that feature, Twitter has that feature where they want you to pay to be popular. That's not how social media was before. It shouldn't be like that now. Like I can, that because I think I had like a MySpace account maybe for like a week when it was before it like pretty much died off, and then Facebook had started making a name for itself, but I can think back on what social media was back then. You didn't have to pay to be popular on social media. So that's why I'm just confused by that. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, in this day and age, people are trying to save money. I mean, when you look at all the different things that are going on in the world, people are trying to save money. Now, if you have the money to promote your account, so I guess like my thing is this, right? If you have that type of money, I guess, because I look at where it's like you want to make money by like having a popular account and all that stuff. But if you're making good money to give it away like that, fam, you're making good money. I just, to me, I'm like, I don't understand it. I'm like, I won't pay for, my channel to be further up in the algorithm and all this other stuff. I'm like, I just want to work. Why is like working? It just seems like working is like you can like put out like, some halfway made content and then put like half the work in. And it's like you all of a sudden generate all these different views. Meanwhile, there's creators that are putting in like hard work. I'm saying like me, when I sit down and think about it, it's like, fam, I'm up day and night working on content. And it just seems like that. It doesn't pay off, so yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, the current state of the internet right now, it's not right. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you guys. Like, if somebody were to ask me, should I be a content creator right now? I'm like, yes, but at your own risk. I'm like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I always love encouraging people to be content creators, but that's the thing. I'm like, it don't work out for everybody. Like, there's content creators that I've seen throughout the 16 years of me being a content creator. I have seen content creators come and go, and it's like, man, it's messed up. It really is messed up that it's set up like that, but anyways, yeah, but the current state of the internet right now, it's not right. It's something where I'm like, nah, something needs to be fixed, but when is that going to happen? When are we going to be able to go back to the good old days of the internet and stuff, so, but anyways, with that being said, I was, talk to you guys later. I was getting ready to say, and I'm like, no, we need to make the internet great again, but I'm like, we ain't gonna be using no Trump catchphrases and stuff, but at the same time, I'm like, it was great at one point. now I just can't look at it the same way. So, but anyways, yeah, talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow or subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.